welcome back, viewers. Mr. Ali, as Dr. Afzal said, should we send our children to everywhere, like mosques, synagogues, and churches, having an understanding of different religions and the cultures, so that they can become a good citizen?
Yeah, I think as parents and teachers and educators, we have a great responsibility to instill in our children to have a broader vision, and to achieve that we need to raise them as open-minded children. So I think one of the things that I appreciate about Houston a lot is that I have two children, they both go to school here, and diversity is something that they learn from very early ages. I mean, I learned about diversity up until 25 years old probably. Before that I was in a very uniform society, I would say. But our children in Houston learn from their friends, friends who belong to different faiths and cultures. Once my daughter brought something to him, and she says that this is a symbol from that religion. And so what should I say now? No, this is not ours, here is ours, or that love, that respect. I think in Houston it is one of the best places to do that. And after that, there are levels of involvement in interfaith dialogue at everywhere. I mean, if we are in middle and high school, let's say as the organization we organize art contests about diversity, about friendship, and then if you go to college you can participate in panels. At every level there is some level of participation for interfaith understanding, or sometimes we organize during a Ramadan, we invite the church to our center, or sometimes we reach out to a synagogue, we take our community to a synagogue, so that people I really agree with Dr. Afzal on the idea that this has to be done at the grassroots level. I mean, politics can do whatever they can, media, but as a person, I need to be aware of my neighbor, my colleagues who belong to different faiths, and there where the responsibility starts.
So do you think that this should be started from the school level?
Yes, I mean I would say from very early ages. Yeah.
And if we instill these kind of traits in a personality of a child, do you think this will help in evolving or developing a good personality which have a diversified understanding of the cultures?
I believe that. I was pastor of many churches for many years, and we have a program, I believe the mosques now have that too, the youth training camps. So we have, our denomination has a big place, a huge place in East Texas, in Palestine, Texas. And we have rooms, we have dormitories, and we keep the kids for 10 days over there. And we teach them how to behave with other children, how to tolerate other children, how to create compassion, how to worship, how to be a good human being. We do different sports, we do create different activities for them. Art is really good. Art is really good. And then when the children of different faiths would be combined, living under one roof for 2 weeks or 1 week or even 4 days, they would have to interact, and they would practice their human values. They will practice their human values. If there are 4 or 5 different religion kids, they all have to eat together. They all have to sleep in the same dormitory. They all have to play the same games. So they would adjust their thinking, and they would create a tolerance in themselves automatically. So I believe that these kind of activities are very essential.
Yeah. So Mr. Fayaz, I think there's a difference between free speech and hate speech.
That's it.
What do you think?
Yes, there is definitely a difference between a clear hate speech and free speech. But let's when you talk of hate, we talk of intolerance. Now,
I mean, if any word is creating hatred,
and intolerance has been going on in this society for over 5,000 years.
That's true.
Hindu religion, first of all, in India, is based on what they call Zat. You have got 5 different levels, of how you are treated in the society. Okay. Now, question is, there is no way you can take that out. Although the government of India is trying it, but it's very difficult. Okay. And then the other thing was a race-based hatred, color hatred. Okay. We in 60s, Martin Luther King Jr. was instrumental in changing America to reduce race-based discrimination. Okay. After 60s, the things changed to religious hate situation. And before 60s, we never heard these things. There are some political angles to it as well. We have to understand that. But at the same time,
There are also business angles as well.
Social and
Yeah.
right, economic.
economics, and if you want to create equity in the society, okay, you have to take all these things out, okay, and it is the job of not the government, not only the government, social media, and all the schools to create this equity in the population, so they don't feel deprived, they don't feel left out.
Your point is very important because in response to this incident, the former president of USA, Jimmy Carter, has said that the root cause of this incident is we can find in the Israel-Palestine problem. So he is saying in this way. What do you think?
Well, I think we need to take every incident in its own context. Sometimes reducing it to a certain political conflict in the Middle East or somewhere else sometimes can deviate us from finding the real reasons for what happened. Sometimes, let's say, the terrorism is studied only from a political point of view, but we also need to keep in mind that there are social, cultural aspects of it as well. So we need to study all those dimensions and not to compare any conflict to another conflict because the history is different, the conditions are different, people who are involved are different. I think we need to study every incident from this unique point of view.
So what are the economic reasons, I think, of this incident?
Well, if we want to take Jimmy Carter's statement seriously, which I don't, I think that's not a fair statement. Everything happens in the world is blamed to Palestinian situation. That's not correct. That's not
fair.
That's not fair.
Okay.
But there is one little point in there that the world is divided into economic divisions. There are the rich. There are stinking, filthy rich everywhere in the world. In Paris, in Spain, in England, in USA. Those who don't know where their money is coming from. Then the rich, then the upper middle class, then the middle class, then the lower middle class, then the lower class, then the poor, then the left out of the society. So we need to look at the causes of all that social system. So those who have money, those who are rich, they don't know about the sufferings of a poor man. They don't know what he is going through. If somebody is making $700-800 a month, he cannot make a living. Houston is a cheap city. It's a good city. But Paris is an expensive city. Tokyo is an expensive city. So the class division, the economic class division is very, very real in the world. Everywhere. I have been to many, many countries and it's very real and it creates a gap between the poor and the rich and it creates hatred.
Which can lead to the creating hatred.
Yes, because when in over here in Houston, we see when the girls, when they get pregnant, when they have no father for their child, when they have no support from their family, not from their anybody, they start doing weird things. Some of them, are followers of the
Every country and every state has laws regarding blasphemy. Every country, Europe, in America, and in Muslim countries also. Do you think to stop these kind of incidents, there's a need to enforce those laws, or there is a need to amend or reform those laws?
See, the laws of blasphemy is they don't work. We have seen it that it doesn't work. Okay, we have to do multi-level situation functional. Okay, education. For example, okay, if I am a scholar, okay, that doesn't mean I know everything about every place in the world, everything about every religion in the world, every sect in the religion. There is no way to find out, right? So when I express myself, I'm expressing my experience, whatever I know, and I should not impose that on you or you, right? Because my knowledge, no matter what it is, it's limited. There is not a single individual in the world who can claim the knowledge of the world. So people go back to structures, Bible, and Quran and things like that, and Gita, and they all say the same thing. So what are we making? Why? What is the problem? Problem is cultural values, education, and making people aware and appreciate the multicultural society. If you bring 10 roses, they're all roses, but the world is of all the flowers, different colors, and that's what we need to educate people for. That every flower is important in this, what we call it, guldasta. So that will come through education and nothing else. And making people aware, and the childish education, the American society has been very lucky. That's a multicultural society. So this environment the children get from childhood. Other countries which have a large population of different, of same culture or same religion, they have serious problems. Especially if the countries have a majority population and a minority population. Minority population is always oppressed, no matter what anybody says.
Right.
Okay, so how do you bring that change? And that oppression then filters down to other parts of the world.
It does.
Okay, not only that, in this world where we live, we in Western society we talk of democracy. Okay, so democracy we should promote everywhere, including in United Nations. We need to have a broad mind. Why can't we have democracy in United Nations?
How can we bring about it?
Well, only by making one change.
Which
By
one?
one change, General Assembly can override Security Council.
But Security Council can override everything.
No, but issue is that's what is
One
happening.
person's veto right can overdo everything.
That's how it is right now. What I'm saying is that we need to expand the Security Council. We need to give voice to we need to make an effort to give voice to every nation, voice to every class of people in this world, and make it more democratic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
I want to go back to the economic situation in Europe. Between Europe and Morocco, there is only 17-mile strip of ocean. So they are very, very close. Those 17 miles make a huge difference. When you cross from Europe, Spain, when you cross those 17 miles, you go to Africa. It's a whole different world. Poverty, disease, no food, no nourishment for children, no treatment for children. So I believe that's what I believe. That the world has been divided between the richest rich countries, rich nations, and the poor nations. So basically, the hatred has birthed from the economic and social situations. The division of resources is not right. 15% of the resources of the world are owned by United States. 15%, I'm sorry, 65%.
Yeah.
65%. And then the European countries and the rest of the world owns only 15% of the resources.
Yeah, it is obvious. Before I take a break, I want to read a statement of Mr. Tayyip Erdogan, Turkish president, who participated in the march in Paris to express solidarity with the French government. He said, "The duplicity of West is obvious. As Muslims, we have never sided with terror or massacre, racism or hatred." So this is what he said. So we will discuss this thing, but we have to take a break. Viewers, this is our time for break. Stay with us. We will be back shortly.